Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I love y'all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. No super chat, this is not live. So we'll start off with the OMI, and OMI on the day is down about 3%, down to 00096. We have a decent amount of buy orders that'll come in over the next couple of days. I would say towards the end of the week, maybe over the weekend. It is hard for traditional finance to go in and get things done over on a weekend, because if you send a wire on Friday afternoon, you likely won't get it until Monday. I sent a wire to myself on Saturday, didn't get it until Monday. Whereas during the week, it only takes X amount of hours. But yeah, that's why I think crypto is very disruptive of a lot of these banks. That's why I think Cash App is really disruptive of a lot of these banks. They kind of serve the underserved. You don't need a bank account. Cash App will just give you an account, a routing number. But again, that's not what we're here to talk about. Here to talk about the amount of money that will potentially go into OMI. You do have, on the flip side of that, people that are not buying OMI right now, not because they don't want to, but because the gas fees are like $50, $70. And if you're kind of working paycheck to paycheck, or you don't have like a ton of free cash flow and you just have an extra couple $100, all right, $300 will throw in an OMI, but between the slippage, the fees, and then the gas fees, like, I don't know, you put like 30% of that into just the gas fees. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I understand 100%, not everyone's in that privileged position where they go and just go and spend $2,000 or $3,000 at a time. This way the fees are only $100. It's a small percentage. It's just, if you're new here, if you're new to crypto, generally the gas fees are how congested is the chain, how many people are using and sending Ethereum. And as Ethereum kind of neared like 3,800 today, I went to like 3,850 before it kind of went down. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was at 69,000, touched 60,000 up to like 63.5. But the more people use that and the more popular it gets, the more congested it'll be, the more gas fees that you'll pay. There were people last bull market spending like $500 to $700 for gas fees. Now, granted, they were sending thousands or tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, but spending several $100s on just gas fees. And problem is likely to get worse later this year. So Americans really do need a big exchange for OMI. Right now, it is just on Coinbase Wallet, and then Uniswap. Again, everyone else in the rest of the world, they can go on Sendex, Gate.io, and they can get a couple of different things. But yeah, right now Americans are kind of hurting for an exchange, but there will be whales that will buy nonetheless. I do want to address, Mr. Pags was just on the podcast. I do want to kind of address some of his comments, one of which in particular where he's like, hey, he's selling, he lost a lot on Bit4X. He had his stuff, he had his OMI on Bit4X, and it's gone. That maybe he'll see some of that in the next year or two when things from Bit4X kind of come back and they have to sell and they have to, in order to make some of their creditors whole, or at least a decent percentage of that. So he might get that eventually, but as of right now, that is gone. He is selling some of his VV stuff. He's buying a couple of other things, but he is selling a lot. One of the reasons when we were going on that over the podcast, it was just a stream. It wasn't like a podcast. He was just saying, why would you want to, like kind of throw good money over bad? And if you go and you talk about throwing, I'm glad he brought that up. I didn't get to go over this on stream. If you're going onto a company, let's say like not any current company, let's say Recur, where Recur, yeah, they raised what, $50-60 million, and they go and they had a huge run rate. They got this all in the bull market where they overhired, and then they decided to go, and one of their main chief investors, which was Gary Vaynerchuk, never said a peep about him because he had his V friends, that he was working on and pumping up, which is fine. And then Recur went and they said, okay, we're gonna have these NFTs of these big companies like Nickelodeon, Hello Kitty, Star Trek, a couple of others, and I think Care Bears were on there as well. But they didn't care about the IP. They didn't do a top down like, hey, this is what we're doing. The workers need to be informed about this. Because at San Diego Comic-Con at the was it the Nickelodeon booth? Yeah, Nickelodeon booth. They didn't know about the NFTs that they were launching on Recur, and Recur didn't take care of the IP. They were in a lot of debt. and they didn't have a lot of free cash flow. Okay, that would have been throwing good money over bad. Or like Animoca Brands that was into Quid for a while, right? Before Quid started not paying their people. Okay, Animoca Brands might have given them $50-60 million, same thing as Recur. Why are they not bailing them out right now? At that point, Animoca is not throwing good money over bad. Bad money is that they put it into that investment, did not work out. Again, they're not paying their licensors, so they're not throwing good money over bad. Veve and OMI, though, that's a horse of a different color. Comment down below if you get that reference. Veve and OMI, they have no debt. They have, we did the back of the napkin math. It's like over 20 million in just in their war chest, and they can go and raise money at any time that they want, and they consistently make money every single week. Last couple weeks, it was a couple $100,000 each week. I think about 2.2 million gems were bought in the month of February. And February is a short month, even though we had that extra day. It was leap year, so we had 29 days instead of the 28. But again, that's a short month. You have a lot of reasons that why people, like when investors come in, when big whales that know what the heck they're doing come in, they're like, okay, so you're telling me you have this company that has made hundreds of millions of dollars over the last few years. The profit margins are insane because it's tech. You make something once and then just hit the print button. And again, there's no physical stuff. You don't have to go and ship it anywhere. There's no insurance on these things. There's no choking hazards, no lawsuits on these things. And you make money up front at the super high margin, and then you make money on it again and again and again on this closed ecosystem. And now that they've launched, now that they have sports and music that's going on, two incredible verticals, how many different music artists and how many different sports athletes and fans are going to come on Veve begging Veve to make them an NFT? Well, Chavez, super athletes don't really need, Veve. They could just go on OpenSea. They could do whatever. Okay. Well, when you had Autograph.io, when you had Tom Brady, Simone Biles, Tony Hawk, Gronk, you had all these Tiger Woods, incredible people on there. What are those NFTs doing now? What are they doing right now? Whereas there's Spider-Man that are bought every day. They're bought and traded on that secondary market. There is Batman, Superman bought every single day on that secondary market. When you had somebody spend, what was it, like $15,000 on these new secret rare Black Panthers, might be a little bit of manipulation on one person's part. I don't know, but yeah, this is, people are going to want to come here because this is where the money is. This is where the people are. It's like, all of them, all those people that want to be on Veve, they're like Ariel and the Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are, and the people are on Veve. That's where people are spending money. That's where I have all this IP. Again, let's say if we have a sneaker company, let's say we get Adidas, right? Or we get Nike. If I'm Adidas, I want to go and be on Veve because Nike's there. Whenever you go to those shopping malls, those shopping centers, there's usually a couple, like 2 or 3 of those footwear stores. Why? Because Adidas wants to be where Nike is. Someone's going there for shoes. If they don't like what they find at Nike, oh, okay, I'll just go over here to Adidas. They do that quite often. You have that in others with McDonald's and Wendy's, or I guess any of the Yum brand foods. If you don't like it at one place, go to the other. There are some people here that's like, okay, I like Stitch, but I don't like the 100-year platinum Stitch. I like the original Stitch they had, the first appearance Stitch. Or they're going to say, like, I like Elsa, but they don't like the Golden Moments Elsa. They don't like the first appearance. Maybe they like the second appearance Elsa, where it looks like her. Or they get the 100-year anniversary, Disney anniversary, whatever they want. I don't think there are any other. Veve has no serious competition. They don't have any. The competition would be years behind them. Any other place that is, let's say, that shares Veve's IP. We have DC. We have a bunch of Batman on here. We got a bunch of Batman villains. We got a bunch. Again. From Greenland, we have most of the 7 of the Justice League, and other places that share our IP. I'm not going to quote them out now. They are not profitable, and that might change. I hope it changes, and not just people that share the DC IP. People that share other IP with us as well are not profitable. and I hope that changes because we need more successful companies in this space. But right now there aren't any. Will that change in the future? It's the bull market is here. That if they can hang on, then yes, that will likely change in the future. And speaking of other places, other places, they might have a first appearance of a character that we also have, but they might have the first appearance on the blockchain. Okay, well, Chavez, why don't I just get that one? So that's the first appearance. First appearance is great, but it's not the end all be all. What if I told you the first appearance Charizard is worth like a fraction of the one that's worth the most? The one that's worth the most is the first edition Charizard that everyone knows and loves. PSA 10 goes for a couple $100,000. But that's not the first Charizard. It might have the one in front of it, and that's when everything popped off. But people like it because that was the most popular. The money will go where the people are, and it's not because it's the most popular because that's where the people are. The people are there because that company or that product is the best. And you could get 2D JPEGs anywhere. But the high-end 3D digital collectibles are really only found at Veve. I don't see anywhere else that it really comes close. And then, what do you get when you get it from another platform? Usually not much, but Steven Duarte says next level incoming. He's got level 78. He'll be level 79 soon. If you buy it on Veve, you get, again, that recognition from people. One, you get the satisfaction of buying something on Veve. It's like, oh, this is great. I got this grail. I got this whatever. And then you go and you post about it on the Veve feed. Everyone comments. Everyone likes it. You get those feel-good serotonin chemicals in your brain. Then you post it on Twitter. Everyone loves it. Post on Facebook. Post on Instagram. I'm sure we all know someone like this. I know at least one person that literally bought a car just for the Instagram pics. Just people do that. And you think they're not going to do that with these Veve NFTs, you are absolutely losing your mind. You're just lying to yourself. At NFT NYC, there's something called Nulcha shows, and Nulcha shows, they go and they post out online who one of their partnerships are, and one of those partnerships is Veve. So shout out to them for that, for partnering with them. What's it going to be like? I don't know. Shout out to Charles Delgado, that now has a total of 50 first appearance Blob comics, and are mostly all 3 digits. He's not really his favorite character, but with 6,000 editions, making it the lowest top 10 X-Men books released on Veve, you'll have to go through him to compete the X-Men set in the future. Meaning that one of the next Marvel Mighties set we get is going to be X-Men villains. You're likely going to see Blob. Who else might you likely see? Maybe Magneto, maybe Apollo. The list could go on and on. Mystique would be great. People are going to go very, very hard for them. I don't blame them. First appearance on Blockchain Mighties, and there's got to be something. I don't know what it's going to be, but you have to protect the Mighties, and the Mighties have a lot of first appearances. All right, they announced Ron English first. So you have the jukeboxes. The jukeboxes are going to be 4,354. That's how many of them there are going to be. They're not going to be expensive. It's going to be $15. That is really bright. I'm going to lower that. It is going to be $15 for that, and that looks pretty cool. Got that hippy-dippy look to it, but it's got eyeballs on it. He always likes to draw a little bit of the weird stuff. You have Living in Delusionville is an original record that you can go play on that jukebox. That'll be really fun. You have a Living in Delusionville gold version, and then you have a platinum version as well. So all these things combined will be about $40-something thousand if Veve sells out, but it is first appearance music on Veve. They do tend to use Ron English as a little bit of a test subject with these things, so I'm very excited for them. That will come out on the date. That will be March 9th, and that's going to be on Saturday. Oh, that'll be really fun. And then another thing that they announced is going to be first appearance sports. That sports vertical they're going in. Team Parker, or Joseph Parker. I have a little bit of a bio on him. They go and they say that he made his professional boxing debut in 2012 and remained undefeated over 4 years in his next 21 fights. In December 2016, Joseph became New Zealand's first ever world heavyweight champion, defeating Andy Ruiz Jr. at Auckland's Vector Arena to claim the vacant WBO world heavyweight champion. His next fight will be against Zhang on March 8th in 2024, and we get his collectible drop next week on 13 March 2024. They're very, very scarce. They're going to have 735 editions. for the normal boxing gloves that are signed, and then you're going to have a cool poster. We also 735 editions. It's going to be $20 each. It is a blind box. And then you have something that's only going to be 252 of these. Are going to be the gold boxing gloves. Again, these will sell out. They're $30-something thousand. As both of these sell out. Ron English's for music and Joseph Parker for sports. Again, everyone and their sister is going to go knocking on Veve's door to try to get on. It's going to be great. If you're looking for something super scarce, you contact at @white_Veve over on the X. He goes and has the 1 of 7 Bond No Time to Die tickets. Dr. Profit owns 2 of these. None of them have really been for sale. I'm really curious to see if anyone takes them up on that. Fanny Carbonell, one of our favorite Veve actresses, goes and says, huge pump incoming, in my opinion. OMI and charts don't lie. Gotta love Fanny. Gotta get her back on the podcast soon. Good times. And speaking of gas, I was talking about that before. Wes says, with gas fees being so high right now, there's no viable way for people in the US to purchase OMI since there are no exchanges. Foster Hilt says, ETH gas is definitely not fun. Duly noted. I don't know if that's a tease at him going and saying, hey guys, you are going to be able to get OMI on the web app soon, or they have exchanges lined up. I don't know what it is. Comment down all your speculation down below. Shout out to Veve today for going and selling out the Tales of Astonish, the first appearance of the Wasp. I bought 2 and I got a common and an uncommon, so not the greatest, but I also, they sold out. They made their 47,000 however much dollars, and that is just on the primary, not including the secondary. And then you have Draco.eth saying, proud collector moment, acquiring the most significant Iron Man editions, 1962, 63, 68, 2023, 1939, 3,555 was no small feat. A challenging journey, but the thrill of completing the set is unmatched. And Veve Digital Collectibles goes and reposts saying, these mint hunters are a different breed. Agreed. So iOS 15.4, which is the newest update, gives European users the possibility to download other third-party app marketplaces other than Apple-owned App Store. I do believe this could possibly disrupt the monopoly, also changing the rules about in-app crypto use, stuff to investigate for the future. And they just got hit with a $1.6 billion fine from Europe due to the Spotify claim. I think this could be interesting for Veve, to say the least. The London Police official account goes and says, Veve cryptocurrency / OMI into gems is now becoming increasingly important. I believe so. So you are going to have OMI to NFT at some point, likely in Q2. And then you also have the gem liquidity pool open up at some point as well. When do we actually get that? I'm not sure. Probably later in the year, but we shall see. So I did mention the Secret Rare Black Panther before. Again, that Secret Rare Black Panther, you have somebody that has 23 editions that is slightly over 10%, pumping the price to $961. And then people are saying like, oh, well, they'll offload it at 3, 4, 5K. And then you have R-Bear going and saying, still, people have their limits. And no one is paying $5,000 for this unless they are mentally impaired. If the price gets silly, I think people will just wait for it to come back down so that they can buy, come back down to reality before they can buy. I won't make any claims to know anything about people's mental capacity or their ability or disabilities, but I will say this. In the last bull market, people were paying me, little old me, $5,000 to get their name on my freezer. I will say that again. People were paying me $5,000 to get their name on my freezer. It's a crazy world, and in bull markets, when people have money that they've never had before, again, it's like there's a learning curve to everything. There's a learning curve to learning business, coding, boxing, that's any sport. And then there's also a learning curve to having money. If you've never had it before, a lot of people are going to go in and they're going to spend it all day. So I do think people will eventually pay $5,000 for those, the scarcest Marvel Mighty, that Black Panther Secret Rare. And that might not happen now. They could very well get dumped and it could go back down to 600, 400, could go back down very, very low. But there's a chance that does happen, and then it goes to 5K in the future when you have OMI to NFT. Again, these are $900 right now, right? $960. And OMI's at about 1/10 of 1 penny. What happens in the next 10 months when OMI goes up to 1 penny and it does a 10x, and then these are only 1,800? Okay, well, I took a 10x, like profit on my OMI, and these have only less, like doubled. I might as well take some profit out of there and buy this, because at that point, that's free money. So yeah, I do think that will happen, not just on that one. There'll be a lot of grails, and I'm not calling this one a grail. It's just the scarcest Marvel money that we have so far. They could change that in the future. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, 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 meow.